Okay, I'm at my bass clef, and I'm going to start down here with a space note, and that's F. Line note is G. Space is A. Line is B. Space is C. Line is D. Space is E. Line is F. Space is G. Can you figure out what the next one is? A. And here is my space note B that is in the middle white section. Yep, you can see that, okay. And then I'll draw my ledger line. And I'm playing it with the left hand, so I'm going to put it down. And then I could draw my D if I wanted. I'm up in the right hand now. Okay, so that shows it going up and going down. So you can kind of see how that works. Now when you're playing an instrument, you're going to need to know that's a D, that the middle line is a D, so that you can push the D. So there are some words that we have to teach us what notes they are. You might have heard of different phrases, but this is how the right hand goes. Every good boy deserves fudge. Those are the lines, and the spaces spell face. Do you see how it goes E, F, G, A, B, C, D, E, F? So if you have an assignment in your theory book and it says to find the treble clef A, you remember F, A. So you would draw your note like that. What if it says find F? You actually have two options here. You have F of face and you have F of fudge. So you could do this. If it says to find B, every good boy. B is boy, and actually we do know of another B. It's down here in the white and it's under the middle C. So for extra credit, you could put that note there. Let's do D. Every good boy deserves. Okay? Sometimes assignments tell you to put a sharp in front of a note. Let's just say we want to sharp all the F's. What F's do we have? We have this one of face, and we have this one of fudge. Sometimes an assignment might say, put a flat in front of a note. What if they ask you to put a flat in front of the B? Every good boy. Okay? So that's how the staff works. That's how the notes work. I'm not sure which staff I want to be on right now. Now we're going to do timing. Timing is this sample right here. See how I count to 4? There are different notes. See what you can see. All these black ones are quarter notes, and they get 1 count. If you see a white one, it's 2 counts. If you see one like that, with the dot, that's 3 counts. If you see a hole like that, that's called a whole note, that's 4 counts. So quarter note, half note, dotted half note, and whole note. I'm going to say that one more time. Quarter note, half note, dotted half note, and whole. So in your theory book, if you are asked to put some notes on a staff and make sure they add up to 4, because we have 4 here, you should easily be able to do that if you look at the math. Do you see there's math? Math is involved in a lot of subjects. It's involved in music. So I did one right here for you. I put a quarter note and a dotted half to hit 4. Another thing I could do, can you see the top one? Yep. Another thing I could have done is I could have drawn 4 quarter notes. Okay? Another thing I could do, see if my purple works. I could draw just a whole note. Another thing I could do is I could have drawn 2 half notes. Do you see how this is 1, 2, 3, 4? This is 1, 2, 3, 4. So this is a long note, and these are short notes. So what I'm going to do is clap this out for you. I'm going to do the red first, okay? So this is how it would go. 1, 2, 3, 4. That is the speed I'm going. Okay? Now this time I'm going to do this note. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay? If you're on a piano, you would push that note down for 4 counts. You would go 1, 2, 3, 4. If you were on a piano with the red, you would go 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay? Now let's do the blue. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, see how we did that? 1, 2, 3, 4. So you just hold these. The 2 half notes would go like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay? So knowing how to draw notes, knowing if they're right hand or left hand, knowing the name of the note, knowing how far to count in each measure, and knowing what type of note are the beginning steps to music. Another thing I could do here is I could make this a 3. Now I only want to count to 3. So I'm going to have to take this away. This won't work. I can't have any whole notes. For this measure, I'll take this away. And for this measure, I'll color it in. All right, now let's clap to 3. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. I'll do that again. I messed up. 1, 2, 3. Now, how do you know how fast to go? How do you know you're not going 1, 2, 3 instead of 1, 2, 3? What you're going to do is you're going to set your speed at the beginning of your song. If you're playing piano by yourself, you get to decide the speed. Have you ever been to a hymn sing and some of the grandmas play really slow? Or you go to more of a modern praise type band and they go a little faster? They're setting the speed. If there's more than one instrument, then typically one of the instruments will start by themselves so that the other folks can hear the speed. Okay? So if you're in a choir, they usually direct you and give you one measure to start. So the pianist, the choir, if there's other instruments, they all know what speed you're going. They do the same thing for a band. Okay? So they will, let's see if I can move this. Let me see if you can see me. Okay, we'll see how this works. If this doesn't work, my apologies. Okay, so a 4/4 time, they would do this first. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then start them so they will know it's this speed. 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Now maybe it's a really fast, peppy Christmas song, and the director will get up there and it'll be 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay? If it's a slow song, he would go like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so that's how you get your speed. I don't know if you could see me do that or not, but if not, that was just a little extra bonus. All right, we're going to move to this side. I haven't used this video camera for years. I usually just quick grab something on my phone, so hopefully this is working out okay. All right, now I want to show you this C sharp. Let's see if I can get you a little closer. The C sharp, sharps go this way, sharps go up. So that's this note right here, okay? This note right here that I just colored in red, okay? that note is two different notes. If your song has sharps in it, you're going to have a C sharp. But if your song has flats in it, it's going to be a D flat because you went this way. Okay? Let me do another one for you. I'm sure in your theory books, you'll be doing this eventually. All right, I'm going to pick my song is A flat, but let's pretend my song was sharps. So A flat is the red, and that is also G sharp. So you may, in your theory books, you may have to fill out what is the equivalent. Okay? Remember, there might be something really weird like B sharp. See, this never happens because it's awkward. You're not supposed to play a sharp on a white key. See how you go up to C? But B sharp is also C flat. I'm not sure if they put one that hard in your theory book or not. All right, but just keep your eye out for that. Don't think, oh, there's no black key here. What do I do? What do I do? It must be this one. Nope. You go a half step up or a half step down. So we have sharps go up. We have flats go down. You know how to find notes on the piano. Let's do this one. F sharp is also G flat. A sharp up is also B flat. Can you see it? Good. D flat is also C sharp. A flat right here is also, see, they're sharing, is also a G sharp. All right? Very good on the black keys. Now, there are a few other notes that equal one count. Here we bring in the math again. So here's my staff. And my staff wants me to count to 3. Now, anytime there's a 4 on the bottom, that tells you that a quarter note gets one count. Okay? If you ever see one that says 3/8, that's an 8. This is called an eighth note, and that means an eighth note gets one count. If you ever see a C at the beginning, that actually means common time, and the most common time is 4/4. So maybe you can Google that. I'm not sure, but why they did that instead of just doing the 4/4. Why make it harder? I don't know. But so if you see a C at the beginning, you know you're counting to 4. So these items in the blue here equal one count. 2 eighth notes equal one count. A quarter note equals one count. And these are 16th notes, and they equal one count. Then, if you only have 1/8 note, then you're going to have an eighth rest with it. So that equals one count. The quarter note, if you don't play the quarter note, you play the quarter rest. And a 16th note, if there's only one of them, it looks like that. And then the 16th rest has 2. So I'll draw these in here. Those are 16th rests. Okay? So this equals 1, this equals 1, and this equals 1. Typically my song is going to be with the quarter note, the half note, the dotted half, or the whole. Okay? That's typically, for you guys, what we're going to be doing. Can you see that? Yeah, you can. Okay. So my song, I count to 3. So the very first thing we're going to do is I'm going to tell you, since there's no flats and no sharps, I think it would be nice if my song started on a C. Okay, so I'm going to start with a middle C. All right, and then I'm going to go to a D, and then I'm going to go to an E, and then I'm going to draw a line because I'm done with this. This box is called a measure, and this line is called a bar line. All right, so does my math work? Yes, my math works. I'm sure in your theory book you're going to have to write some notes. It's not going to matter right now how it sounds. It's going to matter if the math is right. Now I'll do an eighth note measure for you. When I was in high school, my music teacher had something that you stuck 5 pieces of chalk in, and he would just go right across, and we'd have these beautiful stabs. I don't know if they make those with the whiteboard markers. I've never seen one. Okay, so I'm going to jump up here, and I'm going to do 2 eighth notes. So that's 1 count. And then I'm going to do an eighth rest, because I want a little break. And then I'm going to do an eighth note. So that equals 1 count. And then I think I'll just do a quarter note. Okay? So now, let me count that for you. Clap that for you. And I'm going to do it slow. My speed is going to be like this. Okay? So here we go. Starting right here. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. See how there was just a little bit of rest there because it's a very short time. This takes the same amount of time as this. All right, I'm going to do this measure again for you. 1, rest. They call it, actually later you'll learn probably, that's called syncopation. If you have a rest note, and you might want to listen for that in some songs, you might hear, like, it might be called an accent, but it also might be just the way it's written. An accent would be, if I go like this, that means I want that last note really loud. You can hear that especially in a band. I'll do this measure for you and I'll put an accent on the end. Bam! Okay? Bam! Okay? There's a couple things that you might have seen in your book. If I go like this, it's called a slur. And that means they don't want any space between, they typically on a piano or a clarinet that I know of, they don't want space in between notes, so they want it to be smooth. So if it's a clarinet, it would be ta, okay? On the piano, you wouldn't want it to be push, 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 okay? They want it smooth anyway. But if they draw a slur, they particularly want you to make that smooth. If they have 2 notes like this, let's pretend I'm doing something up here. I'm starting a new song up here, so I'm to draw the staff again. Okay, so let's say I go like that. That is called a tie. Can you see the blue? Great. That's called a tie. This is 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. But what I'm going to do is I am not going to push down on this. I'm going to hold it. They wanted it to be held there, but they couldn't put a half note there for 2 counts because then they would be over their counts. So they go like this. Bum, 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 bum. Okay? So they wanted the song to end with 2 half notes, but since it didn't work, they tie that together. You don't push that down, you just hold it. Okay? So far, we are familiar with the piano keyboard. We're familiar with the black keys. We're familiar with the notes. We're familiar with the counting. We're familiar with right hand and left hand, or high notes and low notes. We're familiar with sharps. We're familiar with flats. And that is an excellent way to start. Thank you.